17-6. Third mountain, 18-2. First teams, 1-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, enjoy the Waunakee High School Marching Band and the singing of our national anthem. Back to receive the kick for the Warriors, number 16, Sawyer Molly, and number 4, Nick Roxon. Picking up for the North Team, number 76, Casey House. The kickoff is recovered for the Warriors by number 10, Austin Keller.
Good evening and welcome to Warriors Stadium in Waunakee. The Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week returns with a Badger North Conference battle. The DeForest Norskies at the Waunakee Warriors. Got a bit of an early start. DeForest kicked to Waunakee. They did a little line drive that the Warriors fell on at their 33-yard line, and that's where Waunakee gets it first. And here's their first play from scrimmage. It's a run. Looked like that was Will Ross with the carry, and he'll get about 4 or 5.
Yeah, just a straight run right off tackle. Waunakee's coming out in their spread set. They've switched to this spread shotgun offense 2 years ago.
That was the voice of Alan Minard. He's here along with Bill Brophy, Jay Wilson as well. Here's the first pass of the night. It's Wolf throwing it to the outside, and that's a completion to Austin Keller, the senior tight end, and that's a first down for Waunakee.
Right.
3-0. They won the Division II state championship last year. They come from behind, win over Brookfield Central at Camp Randall. They amassed that 3-0 record by beating Fort Atkinson 66-0, Watertown 37-0, and Mount Orab Barneveld 46-0.
Here's another running play for Waunakee. We're trying to get behind those big hogs. And a gain of, again, about 4 or 5 as once again it's Will Ross, the 5'11 junior, on the carry.
Right, they've used 3 separate off of this run action. They used a give, a tight end into the flat, and what we call that RPO, run pass option. And then that one was a give or keep read.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Only 3 returning starters on this offensive unit for Waunakee.
And what's so remarkable is there's another run to midfield. What's so remarkable is the roster of stars that Waunakee lost, and some would think, well, maybe this is the year we can get Waunakee, but they look as strong as ever.
Yeah, it's the proverbial they reload. They don't rebuild.
Okay, ball at midfield. Now 3rd and 4, so the DeForest defense trying to make a big stop here on Waunakee's first possession of the night. There's Wolf throwing to the outside, and boy, there is a rare instance, an incomplete pass by Jared Wolf, who's had a remarkable start passing percentage-wise, but incomplete, and the DeForest defense does hold.
Yeah, we're going to watch this again because it doesn't happen often. He's only thrown 4 incompletions all year. Trust us, that was his 5th. But he is now 28 of 33 on the year after the earlier completion to Keller. But he's thrown for over 500 yards and taken over for Nate Carter, who was among those stars who graduated.
Jeb Fry is the Waunakee punter. He'll hit it at his own 40. High floater. And the fair catch taken by Logan Hackle, and that's where the DeForest Norskies will get the ball for the first night.
Yeah, with the 4th and short, DeForest setting in a kind of a safe punt return, or what a lot of people call the Jesse James hold 'em up return. And, just a fair catch. And again, a little bit of field position game here. This is expected to be a strong defensive battle.
Like Minnick's team's 2-1 in the year. We've talked a lot about Waunakee, but DeForest no slouches either. The last 2 weeks, they've outscored their opponents 87-0.
Oof. Mike Minnick's in his 19th season as DeForest's head coach. Neither one of these schools have had many head coaches over the last number of decades. Here's Schrader with his first pass of the night. He gets it to the outside. That's the running back, Evan Armstrong. And look at the purple swarm getting Armstrong. Lake penalty marker flies. And probably a loss of a yard or so. But let's see what the penalty marker is all about.
Motioned into a 4 wide receiver set, trying to get Armstrong the ball in space. But the Purple Hats rallied pretty quickly there.
Kent Holmquist is our referee tonight. Other officials, Nathan Berg, Thomas Beard, Jake Will, and Robert Nolden. Here's the call from Kent Holmquist. They're going to pick it up.
No penalty on the play.
So a loss of about half a yard. There's Pat Rice, 27th season as Waunakee's head coach. 277 wins, 39 losses. A 6th state championship last November at Camp Randall Stadium. He's a member of the Wisconsin Football Coaches Hall of Fame. 2014 he was inducted. still going strong. Here's Hackle for DeForest, and he is taken down by Jeb Fry, and that's going to be another loss.
Great job setting the edge by Fry with the jet sweep action. Yeah, both coaches have been long time Hall of Fame. Mike Minnick will eventually be in the Hall of Fame also, but succeeded Hall of Fame coaches. Pat succeeding Gail Quinn, and Mike Minnick seen Jerry Roque.
There's Fry, who made that last defensive stop for Waunakee. Actually might have gained about 4 inches. It's 3rd and 10 for DeForest from their own 12. Here's Schrader, the left-hander, throwing and incomplete, and there's the penalty marker. He was looking for Logan Hackle across the middle, and that's going to be interference and a first down for DeForest.
Yeah, extremely tight coverage, but I think when you see the replay, you're probably going to see a little hand on the back, and he tried to put it in a tight window.
Pass interference, Waunakee.
Jacob May is the offender.
Here comes. Yep. That right arm grabbed the right
waist.
arm of the receiver. So DeForest will take first downs any way they can get them. That one by penalty.
Talked about the new faces on offense. There's only one returning defensive starter. That's Reed Ryan, who's a good player. He's already committed to go to North Dakota State for Waunakee.
Here's Armstrong for DeForest. Pretty good gain on first down, about 4.5 yards for Evan Armstrong, who's off to a good start this season. He second team all conference last year. This year, 857 yards and 11 touchdowns. Excuse me, last year, 857 yards, 11 touchdowns.
Gain of 5 yards, 2nd down and 5 from the 32.
There's Armstrong, 24, behind the quarterback, Trey Schrader. Schrader's a 6-foot junior, 168 pounds. Fake to Armstrong, throw to the outside, complete to Hayden Rawls, and he's only able to get a couple. You see the sun breaking through the cloud cover here.
That's news in itself.
Yeah, it is. Is that what that is?
3rd down and 3 coming up.
Both teams shifted to kind of a shotgun pistol type of offense in the last 2 or 3 years from their traditional I formation. But DeForest kind of right now is in a traditional I formation, but out of the pistol.
Grant Blakesley with the last tackle for Waunakee. Here's 3rd down. They're going to try and run with it. And Armstrong falls forward to the 39, and it is a first down to DeForest.
Again, this is going to be something really important. It was very interesting. It seemed like they were probing on that first series, got the pass interference, and now they're trying to settle in with their core runs. It's super important, play a little keep away and field position. Again, this is a very physical rivalry with both teams. With great defenses and strong running game.
Last season, Waunakee defeated DeForest 48-12 in their meeting. This year, both teams are off to 1-0 starts in the Badger North. Wow, you talk about getting lit up. Jeb Fry leveled the DeForest quarterback.
Yeah, it was interesting because they used that motion that they had used on play number 1 to create a linebacker out of the box. Oof. But he reasserted himself into the box very quickly.
I would say, watch this.
Jeb Fry's a junior linebacker.
Hey, gained 2 yards on that. How about that?
The hard way.
2nd and 8. 41-yard line. Here's Schrader. A loud pattern and a completion.
I don't think you can say enough about Schrader standing in the pocket and delivering a nice pass after getting rocked like that. That's a pretty impressive feat in and of itself.
Logan Bierman on the reception for the Norskies. 3rd down, about 3.
We talked about Wolf's passing efficiency. Schrader this year, coming in this game, 20 of 27 for 210 yards. So both quarterbacks have been right on the mark passing this year. Schrader's also run for 151 yards, including those 2 hard-earned yards against Fry.
Schrader was honorable mention all conference last year, the quarterback for DeForest. Third down. They're going to try and run it again with Armstrong. Boy, look at it. He might have spun. Well, he's going to be a little short.
This is going to be a very interesting decision. I think he's going to be a little bit short. And so this is a very interesting decision. Are they going to punt? They're going to try and draw him off, or are they just going to go for it?
Look at how close that
punt
is.
Team looks like it's coming in.
That says something about what Coach Minnick thinks about his defense, don't you think? They're going to play a field position game?
Yeah, no, it's not uncommon. I think both these programs pride themselves on defense first. And those early season games were kind of probing and testing their passing games to be prepared for this game.
Here's Colby Hardig, and the snap is low. Hardig has to retreat to get it. Still going to get the punt away, but it's a high wobbler. It's going to bounce at the 40 of Waunakee and get a little bit of a roll. But, boy, that could have been big disaster, but it's not going to be a terribly productive fourth down punt for the DeForest Norskies.
No, and that's where, again, if you're 4th and 1, defensively you're thinking watch the fake, so you don't have a full-on rush in that type of situation. And so that played to DeForest's advantage.
Harding kept his cool, though, and it could have been a lot worse.
Right, absolutely.
With no rush, he kept his poise, and they still gained 20 yards on the punt as opposed to losing 15.
And if you're thinking, boy, that punter's a pretty big guy. Yep, 6'4", 263, the punter for DeForest, Colby Hardig. All right, here we go. First down, Waunakee. And the completion, and there he goes. And that is Sawyer Molly for the Warriors, and that's going to be a first down on the pass from Jared Wolf.
This is, again, a real typical spread offensive play. The wide receiver screen, some people call it a jailbreak screen. Nice fake, spin back, and all the linemen are downfield. Molly took it way across the field, which isn't typically where it's designed to hit, but it worked for him.
And they'll try it again. This is a completion. This time it goes to Caden Lewis, a junior receiver for Waunakee. Lewis only gets 3 yards on that one. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Oh, and again, a staple of this offense, Andy Rice brought this offense over to Waunakee 2 years ago, and so it's like try to find easy access throws.
This time Wolf, the quarterback, keeps it and doesn't get all that far. That's a nice play by Jarrett Stitchen, a linebacker, senior linebacker for DeForest. It'll set up 3rd and long for the Warriors.
And also blend in some zone runs like that with a quarterback keep option off of it. This offense really stresses the defense where you have to defend everything laterally and then be aware of vertical shots.
Gain of 1, 3rd and 7, almost 8 from the 41. Wolf chased out of the pocket. Now he'll try to run, and he'll get the first down. Nice job by Jared Wolf as the protection, well, the coverage was great. Then all of a sudden the protection forced him out of the pocket. First down run for Waunakee.
No, and this is another thing where here we had a 3-by-1 formation, so 3 receivers to the left. And when the pass rush lane integrities were lost, and so he had great scramble room to the wide side of the field, which was the short side where only 1 receiver was.
First and 10 at the 42 for Waunakee. Here's Wolf, pump fake. Again, things break down and he has to scramble, and he'll get out to about the 38-yard line. He's dragged down there.
This is a part of the field where both teams would look for him to take a shot. That's what Waunakee tried to do there with a hitch and go. And but unfortunately, protection broke down and he had to scramble there.
Got 5 out of it to the 37. Carson Patchner helped on the tackle for DeForest. 2nd and 5, Warriors. Wolf looks to the sideline to get the call. And now we're ready to go with this 2nd down play. Here's the run to Will Ross. Stays on his feet, gets into the secondary to the 25 before the whistle finally blows. Strong run by Will Ross. First down, Waunakee.
Now you'll notice every once in a while the players will be looking over to the sideline, and they have a big billboard on the side that they read that they are assigned a play based off of that board. And so we'll try to identify some of the names and faces on those boards here.
This Waunakee drive started at their own 34. It's now down to the 25 of DeForest. Ross again. Oh, no, that wasn't Ross. That was 14, Caden Nelson with the carry.
Yeah, both teams are really deep rosters that can use multiple running backs we're going to see tonight, multiple wide receivers. Here's that 3-by-1 set again. Oh, I'm sorry, 2-by-2. We got 2 tight ends and 2 wides.
2nd and 7 from the 22. Here's Nelson again, slipped, and then the knee came down, but Carson Patzner celebrating that tackle as the running back slipped, knee was down, play was dead.
Yep, Ross is back in.
Right there.
Ross, their leading rusher, coming in the game, 205 yards and 30 carries. He's also scored 6 times.
Lost a couple, 3rd and 9. Another big play coming up for that DeForest defense if they can find a way to stop this drive. They're going for it all to the end zone. Touchdown, Waunakee. No surprise. Jared Wolf to Sawyer Molly.
Fifth touchdown catch of the year for Molly, as those and Molly had combined 3 times last week, and that's his 5th catch. He's a good athlete.
Excellent athlete. Come off of a jet sweep fake, play action shot downfield. Molly, a very tall target.
On to attempt the extra point, number 17, Reese Merrick.
Reese Merrick is on to try the extra point for Waunakee. Warriors score with 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Extra point good, 7-0 Waunakee. Wolf to Molly for 6.
Another look at it, 3rd and long, throw in the end zone, and Molly, Al says, 6'1", 177, goes up and gets it.
24-yard scoring play.
No, just a great throw, great catch. You know, and there's not a lot you can do there. The defensive back was close, not quite as tall, and was unfortunately in a chase position. And it was perfectly thrown ball.
We're in the Badger this week, but the big games are in the Big 8. A couple battles among the leaders. Unbeaten Memorial's at Middleton, who's 2-1 in a key game. Sun Prairie's 2-1, going to Janesville to play unbeaten Craig. Also tonight, East is at Beloit Memorial. They are looking for their first win. Verona plays West at Mansfield Stadium, and Janesville Parker's at LaFollette. Other Badger games tonight. Fort Atkinson's at Oregon. They're both winless in the Badger North, or Badger South, excuse me. Watertown's at Monroe. Winona Grove playing Edgewood at Breeze Stevens Field. And Stoughton's at Milton. Sauk Prairie's at Soggy Reedsburg. Portage at Baraboo, and Mount Horeb Barneveld at Beaver Dam in the Big 8.
We can tell you that Stoughton has a 13-0 lead over Milton. One of those games Rolf mentioned.
Big game in the Rock Valley, too, at McFarland. They're christening William Rice Field, Pat's dad.
Oh, yeah.
First game ever played there under construction over the summer. McFarland had to play a couple games at Boucher, but they're home tonight for a big battle against East Troy. Both those teams unbeaten in the Rock Valley.
Kicker didn't have his mouth guard, so that's the reason for the slight delay here before Nate Stevens gets it in play. Boy, Nate Stevens, one great baseball player. He helped Waunakee to that Division I state baseball championship back in June. And here's the return by the Norskies, and covered well by the special teams of Waunakee.
He's got a strong leg. He's got a better arm. He's quite a catcher behind the plate. Good-sized kid who hit about 500. Going to play baseball at Arkansas next year, but Pat Rice happy to have him around. He's a real weapon as a kicker.
There's Nate Stevens.
Traditionally, Waunakee's had great kickers. Going back, Jack Russell kicked for the UW a few years back. So here we go.
Yep.
Okay. DeForest gets it at their own 19, down 7-0. Well, that snap almost Didn't get back to the quarterback as the motion man nearly got in the way, but tackle made by Reed Ryan. Boy, what a play he made in the state final against Brookfield Central last November at Camp Randall Stadium. Forced a fumble and helped turn a 13-0 deficit into a 14-13 Waunakee win.
Yeah, things look pretty bad for the Warriors. That until the play by Ryan, that literally just turned the whole game on its ear.
It was one of the more dramatic comebacks last week or last year at the state finals.
2 yards on first down, so 2nd and 8, DeForest. Schrader, he's going deep. Has a man, complete! Boy, what a throw, and right on the money to Lane Larson, the wide receiver. First down, DeForest.
You know, kind of one of the odd things is if you went back 5 to 8 years ago, both these teams were I formation, slug it out, saw 8-man fronts, and both teams have converted. I think part of it is so many of the other teams are doing it that you have to practice against it. Both these programs research really well with college programs, and so you're seeing that influence of college football sprinkled throughout all of the high school programs.
Good protection for Schrader there as Larson made a double move to get open.
That was for 31 yards, but look out, here comes the sack. Chase Meyer comes from behind to take down Schrader. And that will do it for the first quarter. Well, one score, Jared Wolf to Sawyer Molly for 24 yards, 55 seconds left in the quarter. And that makes it 7-0. We'll take a break, be back with the start of the second quarter. You're watching the Prep Mania Game of the Week on TBW and Channel3000.com.
On Saturday, September 15th, Waunakee MPLA will be sponsoring Family Movie Night. Gates will open at 6:30. Shrek will be shown on the big board at 7 o'clock. We remind you to bring your blankets. We ask you not bring any chairs in the crib. Concessions will be available. Again, that is next Saturday, right here on the court at Warrior Stadium. Gates open at 6:30. Shrek at 7 o'clock. Also a reminder at halftime, we will be honoring 3 of our Special Olympians. Jared Sigler, Zach Reinholtz, and Trevor Gasker. That ceremony will be at halftime.
Welcome back to Warrior Stadium. Alan Minert, Bill Brophy, Jay Wilson with you. 7-0 Waunakee and a Wolf to Molly touchdown pass in the final minute of the first quarter. But DeForest now has the ball, and there's a running play that's going to be well short of the first down as Armstrong gets the carry for the Norskies.
Yeah, we're looking at 3rd and 11, and this is exactly where DeForest does not want to be, and it's pretty much where Waunakee wants to be.
Wolf mentioned Reedsburg had all the rain last week. Against Reedsburg, DeForest fans stepped up to help their fellow Badger North community hit hard by the flooding. They raised money at the game, $2,100 raised through donations and a 50-50 raffle. So a nice job by the DeForest fans as they faced Reedsburg last week. Before the play starts, timeout. Waunakee.
DeForest came out in an empty formation, and Coach Rice wasn't pleased with the way everything was lined up out there and decided to take a timeout and make sure everybody is aligned correctly.
Pat Rice has won 87.8% of his games. You coached against them for 26 years. What makes Waunakee so good?
Well, you know, their preparation is so thorough, and here's probably the best compliment I can give Pat and his coaching staff is when somebody came out with something new and innovative, you tried to get them on film against Waunakee and see how Waunakee defended it. And the one difference is you can kind of get put in a trap a little bit like that because their players are typically better than other people. And, it's still the best thing comes down to the Jimmies and the Joes are more important than the X's and the O's. but they are just beyond thoroughly prepared in all phases of the game. And so not only do they have great players, but it's a great community, and he does a tremendous job.
They lost 15 all-conference players from last year, including the co-offensive players of the year, the defensive player of the year, and the defensive lineman of the year. And they're just as good as ever this year. Schrader going deep again, but no receiver in the area. Unfortunately, no defender in the area either. 4th down coming up.
Oh, we got a late flag.
Oh, very late flag.
Yep. And I think that's going to go against Waunakee.
Yeah. The DeForest players are pretty excited about that. Ken Holmquist.
Yeah, well, they get sorted out. A great story about, we mentioned Bill Rice, Pat's dad. Must have been like 91 or 92. Pat and I both became head coaches, and Dave Richardson, a great friend and Hall of Fame coach at Verona, is a really good friend of Pat's. And we went over to Bill Rice's basement and just X and O'd and learned from one of the true gentlemen of the sport, Bill Rice. What a great man and a great coach. He welcomed us into our home. We just talked ball for a couple hours. It was a great one of the nights that I really treasured.
Bill's wife Becky is one of my biggest fans, and I'll tell you what, she's going right to heaven. There's no doubt about that.
Well, neither Coach Pat Rice or Bill Rice would like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, though, after the play gives DeForest the first down.
To the 34-yard line. Schrader. Ooh, that pass a little too hot to handle.
No, and that's one of those frustrating things. Pat got him out right away and gave him the universal lecture of, what do you think you're doing?
Putting it mildly.
Yes. And
Luke Byer.
Channel your energy in a little better direction.
Luke Byer was the intended target there, but the pass too high and hot for him to handle. So 2nd down for the Norskies at the 34-yard line. They're down 7-0 here as we play in the early stages of the second quarter. Pitch. Armstrong gets to the edge. Gets inside the 30.
And the killer part of that penalty is DeForest was obviously going to punt the ball. And now they are pretty much, this is 4-down territory. Given the situation and everything, this is going to become 4-down territory unless something catastrophic happens here.
And if you're DeForest and you're going to go on the road and beat the defending champs, you got to take advantage of a penalty like that and score here, don't you?
Absolutely.
Ball's at the 28, 3rd and 4, DeForest. Armstrong gets a block, falls forward for the first down.
Yep. A great pursuit by the linebacker McCurdy from Waunakee, chasing that play down because it looked like Armstrong had something going there.
Watch 66, John Smozinski, a second-team all-conference performer last year. Just get enough of that to create the hole and get Armstrong the first down yardage he needed.
Might have been a touchdown-saving tackle by McCurdy.
Nice drive by DeForest here. 1st and 10, 24-yard line of Waunakee. Armstrong tripped up close to the 20-yard line.
It was kind of the play got flipped from the last play. They're pulling 2 guards, it looks like, on that. We'll see on the replay as 2 lead blockers.
Got 2 on the play, so it's down to the 22-yard line, 2nd and 8. Two receivers to the right. That's where Schrader's looking. He finds Hackle. Hackle breaks a couple of tackles. Hackle to the 12.
Again, nothing real fancy. This is another kind of, we call them run, pass options. So the line is all blocking the sweep play. The 2 receivers are out there, and the quarterback has a choice to either hand off or throw it out to the receiver in space. So again, just like spread offenses, okay, you're kind of blending the 2 theories, and so you just get the ball to the playmakers in space.
DeForest trying to get the tying score. They're down to the 12-yard line. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong! Touchdown, DeForest! A 12-yard touchdown run by Evan Armstrong. They're a point away from tying this game.
No, and again, as a coach, that penalty is super frustrating. You know, the first thing that Waunakee was thinking is we got to shut them down, and the first thing DeForest after the previous score is we need to answer, and there was your answer.
Yeah, both teams now have had the ball twice, and both teams scored in their second drive, and it's been a fast-moving game.
Sure has. Here is Bennett Girton to try and tie it. Great view from field level behind the kicker. He bangs that one through, and it's 7-7. 9:16 left, second quarter.
Nice drive, but the big play on the drive was the penalty after the dead ball foul.
Isn't that true?
Certainly a nice run here by Armstrong for the tying touchdown, and the pass and the play preceding that to Hackle was a big one too, but it changed the whole complexion of the drive.
Absolutely, and the other part though, that is it's a huge confidence boost for DeForest to get some semblance of running game established, and still have the quarterback confident that he can do some quick access throws to his receivers and get them in space. So again, flipping the field down where you know you kind of kids could know that we're going to 4 downs to do this, but then all of a sudden to get Armstrong established like that, I think is really, really important and gives them a big juice jump.
DeForest is 2-1 on the season. Their last 2 games, they beat Monroe 47-0. They beat Reedsburg 40-0. They lost to Oregon their first game of the season, 17-7. And the coaching staff was telling us they got inside the 5-yard line 3 times where they had bad snaps from center going over the quarterback.
Yeah, they've kind of came out of that game thinking they did enough self-infliction to last them for the season. So we'll see what they're going to do on the kickoff here before they squib kicked it. Again, Waunakee great on special teams, returned a kickoff for a touchdown last week, and so I don't think the speed burners are going to get a shot at it here.
Girton to kick off. Yep. Line drive taken. This is Jeb Fry, the linebacker. Boy, he's making the most of his return opportunity. Does a nice job, gets it out to about the 42.
Yeah, after as hard as he whacked that quarterback, I'm not sure I want to kick to him either.
Yeah, he looks like a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, I don't know. He's obviously on defense a heat-seeking missile.
You coaches, you got to let birds fly here.
Yeah,
Come
I don't
on
know.
now.
We're pretty.
Tell you what, whoever tackles him is going to know they tackled him.
I tell you, your perspective on a lot of this changes when your son plays, and you're like, okay, we do not want my son to get hit by people like number 40.
All right, here's Jared Wolf, 6-foot senior quarterback. He'll start with a pass to the outside, and it's complete. And that is reception to Caden Lewis.
Yep. And again, this is one of the reasons why you see the pass percentages get so high. These are really easy access throws. Catch the ball, get it out into the playmaker's hands.
Got a couple of Caden's wide receiver for Waunakee. Caden Nelson is 14, and Caden Lewis is number 15. Here's another pass. This one's complete to Evan Zwetler, and he's taken down. That's going to be a loss in the play. Well done by the DeForest defense. It looks like
just
Trey
great job
Warney.
rallying to the ball.
Trey Warney gets Zwetler in the backfield. Or behind the line, I should say. Nice job. Got a little help from Edwin Erickson, 74, the 6-foot junior. 3rd and 5, Waunakee. 47-yard line. Wolf. There's a nice pitch and catch, complete. And a big run after the catch by Austin Keller. Austin Keller, first down.
That's your old school real man tight end.
Yeah.
6'4", 210, 215. And knows what to do with it after he catches it.
Oof.
He was on that state championship baseball team that beat Arrowhead last June in Appleton, too. Looks like he's put on a few LBs over the summer.
Alex Endress was the first tackler for DeForest, and he took a big hit on that play from Keller. There's the first down carry to about the 32.
And again, what's so crucial about that is now Waunakee has crossed into 4-down territory, although I'm sure their kicker is pretty solid as well.
Yeah. Three yards on that first down carry.
So looking over to the sideline, up comes the board. We've got minions. Looks like little Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
You got a coach to determine what's going on that signboard each week, Al?
Here's Ross into the heart of the DeForest line, and he's going nowhere.
So it's sort of like a guessing game, and sometimes those are even dummy signals. So there's typically 4 pictures, probably based off of first down, second down, third down, fourth down. And again, some of them might not even mean anything, and someone on the sideline might be signaling in the actual play.
From the 31, here's third down for Waunakee. Dropped by Molly. Boy, he'll get that about 99% of the time.
That was that jailbreak screen. It's a signature play in this offense with the spread stuff. Again, here we are, fourth and about 5.
I think they're looking to go for it here.
Yep.
Yeah, they're looking for that signboard. Beck Meyer was right there, though. I think Molly might have heard footsteps, and that proximity of Meyer might have caused him to take his eye off the ball. Big defensive play here for DeForest.
Big play here. Fourth down and 5 for Waunakee. Wolf. Complete. Keller to the 13. First down, Waunakee.
Yeah, I think I kind of figured they were going to look Keller and Molly's way. Just a little combination route. Those guys are going to be a handful to handle tonight.
First and 10 at the 13.
Devin Moran Rivers saved a touchdown with that tackle after Keller had broken the initial stop.
There's Jared Wolf. He'll give it to Will Ross, picking his way inside the 10. And you can see, too, why Wolf has had such a high completion percentage. I mean, there haven't been a lot of risky throws.
No, and
but
that's
there.
The beauty of this offense. And, again, it'd be real similar. Andy Rice came from the coaching tree with Travis Rohr and that staff at Mount Horeb who are now at Monona Grove. So you'll see a lot of this same stuff.
Second and 5. Here's Ross. He gets inside the 5.
I believe some of their original research was from the Chip Kelly stuff. And so it's a lot of times the plays are simple one-word concepts.
Third and 1. Ross. He's close to the goal line. Still going. Now they whistle it dead.
Whistle it dead.
But he's got a first down. And it's going to be first and about a yard for Waunakee.
But it still fits with what Waunakee's always liked is a good downhill running game. This is the one area that this sometimes gets to be an issue is short yardage.
Will they give it to Ross one more time? They will. And he's held back. Boy, it looked like Ross was going to get there, but no dice. Jaden Magley. Magley grabbed him around the waist and pulled him back.
Yeah, watch 25 plug the hole right here.
Right, and so the one thing that they kind of need typically in this situation is either look for the tight end in the flat or a quarterback keep out of this.
Alex Endres also got his nose in there for DeForest. High snap. Wolf keeps it. Touchdown, Waunakee. Jared Wolf scores to put the Warriors back in front.
And again, the diversity of, he was looking for that tight end in the flat, and then that was covered well, and he ended in scramble mode, but it's just one of those things. It's just really hard to cover the whole field. And the whole idea of the spread offense is to make you defend the whole field.
So Jared Wolf makes it 13-7. Reese Merrick makes it 14-7 Waunakee. 4:24 left before halftime. As usual, back to our TVW Channel 3000.com studios for Jim Rutledge, ESPN Wisconsin, with our halftime report. There's Mahler Wolf's touchdown.
Last year in that situation, you're going to call a guy named Javian Dane likely to go the last couple yards. They don't seem to have the same dynamic playmakers of a year ago without Dane and Elo Johnson, who's we think is here with New Mexico to play at Camp Randall tomorrow. Javian Dane's with Boston College and got into a game last week for a couple snaps for BC. But as the cliche goes, they do reload every year, and boy, they might not have the big names, but they've got a lot of talent.
Right. And the same thing, the DeForest kids might not be on Division I recruiting lists, but a lot of these kids are littered throughout the WEAC, and that's why, the WEAC conference in Wisconsin, the Division III schools in Wisconsin are just loaded with really good high school football players from the state of Wisconsin, in particular Badger Conference, Big 8 Conference. These are really good football players that some people would say are maybe not quite as tall as they need to be or as fast as they need to be playing in Camp Randall.
And a lot of these kids go play Division II football in Minnesota, the St. Clouds and Winonas and Mankato, which is number 1 in the country in Division II.
Stevens kicks it to the 2. And nearly a huge return. That was Marlon Sistrunk who nearly broke it.
Right. A touch of the toe, or he might have been gone because he had 3 in front of him, 3 blockers.
Caden Simpson made the touchdown potential saving tackle. 22 right there.
Monona Grove up 7-0 on Edgewood at close to the end of the first quarter.
31-yard line. Monterey Stadium, Sun Prairie 21, Janesville Craig nothing.
Janesville Craig unbeaten.
How about that?
Statement game there for Sun Prairie, saying don't forget about us.
Isn't that true? 1st and 10. Little swing pass to the running back. And that's going to be close to a first down. In fact, it is a first down to Armstrong.
Gotta love Armstrong. I mean, that's not an easy, and a great ball by Schrader too. That's not an easy throw. And, as powerful a runner as Armstrong is, he also catches the ball pretty well. And him in space is not a good thing for Waunakee either.
Armstrong just a junior, as Jay told you, 2nd team all-conference last year as a sophomore.
End of the first quarter, Verona leads Madison West 6-0. This time Schrader fakes it and keeps it, and he's bent back as he gets to about the 44.
Schrader's another junior, played last year.
I think the area is loaded with some really good juniors.
Yeah, we've seen that firsthand.
In the games we've been to, there's been a lot of really good juniors.
Mike Minnick says it's great to have a quarterback with experience. Schrader's a good leader, and they're excited about what he can do. He's made a couple of beautiful throws for some big gains here, and DeForest would love to get a score because they're going to get the second half kickoff as well here as we play in the later stages of the second quarter. Armstrong tries the right side, gets a block, taken down just short of midfield.
It's going to be 3rd and short. That was that sweet play, getting the big men out in front. And then there's
pretty crisply played half.
Yeah.
Waunakee is scoring in 2 of its 3 possessions. DeForest trying to score here on its 3rd possession.
Here's big 3rd and 2 coming up. These 2 great rivals just 10 miles apart.
Wow, he got really whacked. I think he's going to be just a tad short.
He needed to get to the Waunakee 49. I don't think he quite got there, though. 4th down. Yep, there's Tom Beer signaling 4th down. The linesman on the far side.
This is a big call, bro.
Oh, you gotta
what are you
go.
thinking?
I think you got to go for it here, Coach.
Yep.
I'm in your, they're going to send the punt team out.
I would assume the thinking is we're trying to shorten the game. We can make it go into the 4th quarter with a chance.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I'm when
Here in the wild
we're here to
again.
win this baby camp, and but
Well,
he
now,
knows his team better.
Hey, this isn't the same punter.
So be alive for a fake.
I don't know if
he's going to punt it. Okay, this must be their coffin corner
that
punter.
Could be.
It'll
Could be they just don't want to punt it to the Waunakee return. I'm in. If I'm going to go for it, I'm going to put it in Armstrong's hands, instead of putting in a punter or whatever. But anyway,
that was Xavier Acola.
We're going to play some field position, try to pin him deep, and get a better field position start.
Worst case scenario, you don't make it. Short field.
You're
down 21-7.
Yes, that's.
It's tough.
That's why that's
tough.
Being a coach is one of the toughest things in the world. I don't know if it's as hard as president or not.
Good Lord.
We'll take that up at halftime. Waunakee with 2 timeouts here as they take the ball.
That's why we call it the game of the week. Insightful commentary. A little bit of everything. All right, here we go. First down, Waunakee. And it actually went out of bounds at the 21, so that's where Ross gets his first carry. Let's see.
This is a really important series for the DeForest defense here.
Gain of 1. Let's see if and when DeForest will use its timeouts. I would imagine if they stop them on this one, they'll use a timeout, right? To the outside, and if you get the guy out of bounds, that's even better.
Let's see.
Short gain. That time it was Josh Block receiving. Boy, they spread it around.
This is sailing along.
So a minute 14 left. Third down, 8 to go. First 2 plays on this drive have netted 1 yard each. Here's Wolf. Going deep, incomplete. Stopping the clock with a minute 8 left. Well.
And that's why DeForest punted the football, boys.
Right.
They're going to get the ball back with 3 timeouts and about a minute on the clock.
I'm telling you, I don't think Coach Rice wanted that kid to run out of bounds on that wide receiver over there, and he decided to take a shot there. He just missed him coming down the seam.
Yeah, I don't think
that was Ross.
Coach Minnick could have planned that any better.
Here's Fry to punt for Waunakee. Gets it away, a line drive floater through the hands of the return man, and Waunakee recovers. Oh, goodness.
Well, that wasn't part of the plan, I'll tell you that.
Corey Royston makes the big play, but that ball went through the receiver's hands.
I think that was Hackle, the deep receiver for Waunakee, or for DeForest, and look at that, it was a line drive floater, and it just ate him up. Oh, goodness.
Crucial situation here now for DeForest. Look for some shot right away.
So you think he should have gone for it on 4th down now?
I think
Mr. Hindsight?
Yeah, no.
Oh, man, what a turnaround.
No kidding, Captain Obvious.
Could be a game-changing turnover there. First turnover of the half.
Yep. Lockdown time for the DeForest D. Here we go.
From the 30-yard line. Here's Wolf to the outside to Molly. Gets a block or 2, but then runs into the arms of Alex Endress, the safety for DeForest.
I think Waunakee's got 2 timeouts left. No panic.
Got a couple.
Look at Molly's isolated over here, close to the sideline. Oh,
Wolf taken down. There's a sack for Edwin Erickson. Oh, he's made a few plays tonight already. Edwin Erickson.
He's a junior, too.
It's timeout time. They actually tried to get the ball to Molly. In the coaching business, people steal plays from everybody all the time. It's sort of, in education we call it plagiarism, but in coaching it's a compliment to steal plays. So this was a route we used to call the warrior route, where the crossing receivers and they were trying to clear Molly on the crossing route, and he just ran out of time. It does take a long time to get that particular play developed.
Edwin Erickson blows it up. He's 6 feet, 253 pounds.
Right.
Junior.
So now we got an interesting situation again. There's two ways to look at it. You got 4 downs to get the first, 2 downs to get the first down or get close enough. I would guess the range of the field goal kicker would be somewhere in between the 40 and the 45. So they would feel more comfortable if they could get at least 7 yards on this.
3rd and 13 from the 33. Here's Wolf over the middle, complete. Boy, Keller's been huge in this first half. And the big tight end gets another
now
first
down. They're going to hurry
reception.
to the line because the clock will stop to set the chains. This is where the home chain gang walks a little slower than
They're
normal.
going to clock it. Wolf spikes it. So it'll be a 2nd down play at about the 16.
You work on that with the home chain gang in the offseason?
No, you just know that you hire really smart people that have to know the situation. They hustled a little more than what the home crew should have. But you got to give them credit.
Rex innkeeper. Teach
I
him how to make that play.
One of the first things I did was always thank the chain gang for helping.
Oh, there you go. All right, 2nd and 10. Here's Wolf, has time, throws deep, end zone, just out of the hands of Keller. Incomplete.
Great pocket presence. He was real patient waiting for that route to clear.
Boy, Keller had separation from Kirchberg here, and this ball just overthrown. He's wide open.
Yeah. So, again, Keller's a big size mismatch. Molly is a pretty good speed guy.
Early 2nd quarter, Verona has taken a 14-0 lead over Madison West. We'll be in Verona next Friday night for Sun Prairie and Verona. That's shaping up to be an important Big 8 match. Here's 3rd down for Waunakee. Wolf, hit, out of bounds. Boy, he did well to hang on to that football as he really took a shot. 5 seconds left. So
there's probably not enough time to try a play and get a well, no, it's 4th down anyway, so I think they're probably, the safe thing is the field goal, unless he felt really confident in a mismatch throw game-wise, but it looks like he's kicking field goal.
You got to get points, take advantage of that turnover. Huh? This is a big swing in the last minute.
I would think so. He's definitely got the leg for this range.
Well, I tell you what, you got to give DeForest a lot of credit in this first half. You take away that muffed, that blown punt return.
No, they're right there.
They hung right in there.
They're right there, no question.
Yeah, and they've outscored their opponents 87-0 the last 2 weeks. So they were coming in with some momentum and confidence.
This will be about a 31-yard field goal.
And this will be Reese Merrick. Stevens is the guy who bangs them on the kickoffs, but Merrick is the place-kicking specialist for Waunakee.
It's going to be 29 yards.
29-yard field goal, yep.
From 29 yards, here's Merrick. It is good as the clock goes to 0. So Reese Merrick makes it a 17-7 lead at half. As Waunakee goes back to its home locker room with momentum, and DeForest has to be thinking, oh, what could have been?
Yeah, at the same time, you're disappointed you're down, but you know you can play with these guys, and you can move the football. And somehow, some way, they're going to have to come up with a stolen possession in the second half. So whether that's, a fake punt or, roll the dice on a 4th down, those would be things to look for here in the second half.
I got 2 big plays. The dead ball foul gave DeForest a chance to go tie the game in, and they took advantage of it. That I think gave them confidence they could play with the vaunted Waunakees, and then the muff by Hackle when it looked like DeForest had made a key defensive stop and had 3 timeouts, potentially the ball back and a chance to go in and tie the game. And Hackle obviously fumbled, and Waunakee went and took advantage of it. It's a good game.
Yeah, excellent game. Excellent
physical,
game.
rivalry game, everything we talked about.
Yeah, and DeForest will receive the kick to start the second half. 17-7, Waunakee over DeForest. Jim Rutledge, ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison will join us with our halftime program. 17-7, back with the third quarter in just a few moments. You're watching the Prep Mania Game of the Week on TVW and Channel3000.com.
First week of this past July. Garrett Ziegler received the silver medal in mixed doubles bowling. Zach Meinholz and Trevor Gasco received the silver medal as members of the men's basketball team. At this time, Principal Brian Thurston and Athletic Director Aaron May will present Garrett, Zach, and Trevor with certificates and tradition never graduates Waunakee apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our silver medalist from Team Wisconsin Special Olympics.
Welcome back to Warriors Stadium in Waunakee. Alan Minert, Bill Brophy, Jay Wilson with you, getting ready to start the third quarter of our Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week on TVW and Channel3000.com. The Waunakee Warriors lead the DeForest Norskies 17-7 in what was a well-played and very quick first half. Less than an hour to get our first half in tonight.
So you have two teams that when they run the ball, it's right, mostly in between the hashes, and quick, controlled passing game for both teams.
And it was physical, as you saw there, thanks to Jacob Fry. Putting a lick on Trey Schrader, who had better moments in the first half. Beautiful pass here from Wolf to Molly, a 24-yarder to give Waunakee the lead with 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Waunakee scored on their second possession. DeForest comes back, marched down the field. That guy was happy about Molly's catch, which was very athletic. Here's Trey Schrader showing off his stuff. Big play on that drive.
That was Lane Larson.
And then Armstrong with a 12-yard run. With the kick, they tied the game with 9:16 left in the half. Armstrong ran hard in the first half. Waunakee with an answer. That's Wolf, the quarterback, who's shown a lot of good touch and short passes. He shows good poise here and runs it in from 3 yards out to give Waunakee the lead with 4:24 left in the second quarter. And then a big play. DeForest with a key defensive stop. They're going to get the ball back with a minute left, 3 timeouts, but Molly couldn't handle that punt. Royston with the recovery. Waunakee was in business. They convert with a 29-yard field goal from Merrick as the half ended.
DeForest defense played well. Here's a sack courtesy of Edwin Erickson. Held Waunakee to 17 in the first half. DeForest getting the ball here in the second.
And a couple plays later, Merrick kicked that field goal, but well played half, hard hitting half, as you saw the Fry hit exemplified that. Got a bunch of scores for you. These are all, because we're going ahead so quickly, these are all second quarter scores in the Badgers. Sauk leads Reedsburg 7-6. Mount Horeb 29-0 over Beaver Dam. In the Badger, Verona now a halftime score leading Madison West 28-zip. Middleton in a big game over previously unbeaten Memorial 14-3 at the half. In the Rock Valley, a big game, 2 battles of unbeaten. McFarland with a 20-14 lead over East Troy late in this first half, and Monona Grove with a 15-0 lead over Edgewood. That's a halftime score, is it not?
I believe that's halftime, yes.
Other big game tonight. One of the longest running rivalries in the state. Darlington playing Mineral Point for the 116th time.
Wow.
Even I wasn't there for the first meeting of that one. They've been playing since 1894.
Seriously?
Yep. Darlington leads the series 86-24-5. So we got a good rivalry there. They got a dandy tonight in Mineral Point.
Stevens kicking off for Waunakee. That's into the end zone, and Sistrunk takes it, but it's into the end zone, so it's a touchback. And Forrest.
1894. There could have been a lot of teams playing football back then.
No, I would
not have thought so. So this is a really crucial series for DeForest, and again, a huge advantage. Waunakee being able to kick the ball into the end zone and make a march 80 yards, but this opening drive, a statement needs to be made by DeForest that we're getting back in this right now.
Here's the DeForest quarterback, Trey Schrader. Starts out with a handoff to Evan Armstrong. He gets to the outside the numbers, and gets a good gain on first down, tackled by Grant Blakesley, the Waunakee safety.
That's great opening run. 7 or 8 yards right off tackle.
This is only the 4th offensive series of the night for DeForest.
Armstrong, the back behind Schrader. Schrader throws and incomplete.
It was interesting. It was the run pass option where everybody's running power to the left, and the receiver didn't get the memo. He's running the route, and Schrader just whistled him right by his ear.
That was Luke Byer, the intended receiver.
So again, that run pass option, there's a run play called, and then a receiver has a route tagged on it. Interesting, one of the first ones to do it was Brett Favre messing around in practice one day.
Is that right? Huh. Brett Favre messing around in practice? Well, go figure. Here's Armstrong. Bounces it outside and breaks a big one. He gets to the 45-yard line. First down, Norskies.
You know, super impressive run. Little counter action off of the jet sweep fake. Nice trap block.
That's Mazinski, I think, sprung him with that block.
That's a 17-yard gain. Joe Hauser made the tackle, but not before. Armstrong got it out to the 44. We'll try it again with Armstrong. This time he's spun forward. Penalty marker down as Reed Ryan makes the tackle.
We'll see what the
defensive end for
flag
Waunakee
is. It's either some type of
some Waunakee guys are putting their hands up in the air going, what did we do? It's looking like it's against the Warriors.
I don't know if they called a
Here's Kent Holmquist. Personal foul.
Face mask.
Wow.
Only 3 penalties in this game. They've all been called on Waunakee, and there's been some big ones.
And again, this is crucial moving into Waunakee territory, which again, given the score and the situation, we're looking 4-down territory here.
2 of the 3 fouls have been major penalties. The Ryan penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct was a key play in the earlier touchdown drive for DeForest.
All right, DeForest is moving right down the field. Well, this play is slowed up. Ryan's in the middle of that one, Reed Ryan. And Armstrong gets a minimal gain on first down. Oh, check that. That wasn't Armstrong.
No, it's he's getting a quick little break.
That was Gabe Finley. Finley had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns against Reedsburg last week. So he came in and gave Armstrong a breather, but now number 24 back in behind quarterback Trey Schrader. 2nd and 9 for DeForest. Schrader. Incomplete. Looking for Hayden Rawls. Penalty marker late, and down goes the quarterback, and it's going to be another penalty late against Waunakee.
See, this was another, play off of that run pass action, and then a lot of times I saw this actually in some film over this past week watching some other teams, is the quarterback fakes like he still has the ball, and then he gets hit after the ball is delivered.
It's a roughing the passer call. You'll see here
Let's see if
the late hit.
The play went to the other side, so I don't know.
Right.
We'll see
what happened is he had a guy running in his face. The ball had clearly been out of his hand, and one of the Waunakee defensive linemen just decided to put a little love tap on him, and
another major penalty.
This drive started at the DeForest 20, and they have just flown down the field. They're now down inside or right at the 20-yard line of Waunakee. Armstrong didn't get much on that one.
No, actually the defensive front is stiffened pretty good. It's they're doing a little self-infliction with these penalties. They've gifted 30 yards here.
But the yards get tougher in that red zone, don't they?
Yep. I don't know that DeForest has established a clear weapon wide receiver wide.
Schrader quickly to the outside. This is Logan Hackle. And he'll get inside the 20, but not much more. Another tackle for Jeb Fry,
Yeah,
40.
Minimal game. But again, they did have success getting him the ball in space in the first half.
Hackle's a 3-year kid. And probably, he's definitely their most experienced receiver.
Now 80 has checked into the game. He caught a big pass play earlier in the first half. And one of the things I always found that was real difficult, and you go back to where the effectiveness of like Waunakee is, a lot of times you could get one shot in, but you couldn't repeat that same play against them and have any success with it.
Larson and Hackle are split wide right. They ran a little bubble screen to Hackle last time. This time they're going to the end zone, and the receiver cut off the pattern and nearly intercepted, then dropped. Jacob May had the pick in the end zone but couldn't hang on.
No, and this was they had a counter run that actually had pretty decent yardage, but the quarterback pulled it out and chucked it deep.
Little miscommunication.
Miscommunication on the route, yeah. So again, they're combining the runs and passes.
Doesn't look like Girton's got the leg to try a field goal, so it's 4-down territory after that near interception.
So 4th and 7 DeForest. They're at the Waunakee 19. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Now empty backfield. Man in motion is Hackle. Here's Schrader, dropping, throwing. Oh, and Hackle was open, but couldn't get it. And Waunakee holds on down.
Wow, what a great play design. They started with trips right, shifted it back into the backfield, motioned across, so that it became trips to the other side, and they had it manipulated, had the secondary confused. They had a nice seam route open. Tough throw, but just couldn't thread the needle.
I think it might have got tipped too, didn't it?
Oh, get a great look here.
No.
Needed
a little more air out of the ball.
Yeah. Just behind.
They were matched up pretty good there, though.
So
big defensive step.
Well, DeForest went 61 yards on that drive, helped by a couple of big Waunakee penalties, but now the Warriors get it back at their own 19, 1st and 10, leading by 10. This is Ross.
Wow, did he meet?
Yeah. And
no.
There's another penalty. Now maybe things are getting a little chippy on that line, I think.
This one's going against DeForest.
Yeah, they're looking. The body language says it's against DeForest.
I think Guerrero might have been assessed the penalty, number 10 for DeForest.
Rigel Guerrero, number 10. Yep, it'll go against the Norskis.
First penalty of the night for the Norskis.
Yeah, I didn't see anything specifically in there. There was a major hit in there, though.
Wow, look at that, all the way out
Then
to the
on
36.
occasion, some pleasant, not so pleasantries are exchanged. Especially with such close aligned rivals.
Yep. Okay, goes out to the 36, 1st and 10, Waunakee. Boy, you just get the feeling if the Warriors can get another score, it's going to be a heck of an uphill battle for DeForest. But right now the Norskis are right in it, down only 17-7. Wolf hands to Ross. Gets to the 38, and that's it. Alonzo Blevins, 79.
Yeah, 2-3 yard gain tops. Just kind of an inside zone play. They're going 2 tights. Now they're shifting. They took 1 tight end out, or split him out now.
Got 2, 2nd and 8, 38-yard line.
Going with a 3-by-1 set here.
Wolf. First option not there. Second option not there. Oh, and nearly threw an interception. Oh, boy. That was a chance for Tanner Williams, a sophomore.
Tanner won't want to see this replay, but you will.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get there. He's looking for Molly.
Great job playing off of his route.
He'd like another shot at that one, I think. Huh?
Big down for DeForest D and Waunakee O.
That was actually Carson Patzner, the senior safety. 3rd down, and it's going to be 4th down.
Some great penetration by the DeForest D. They actually had a reverse setup here if we get a chance to see the replay, and it was set up really well.
Now Blevins made another play there. So the junior lineman, boy, another junior. Look at that.
But the penetration by the DeForest defensive end, number 5, did not allow.
Yoakum, I think his dad, Chad, is assistant coach and played at the UW.
Former Badger, yeah.
Here's Fry to punt. Let's see what Hackle does with this one. He muffed the last one. Ooh, that was a dangerous play, too. Hackle made the catch. Now he runs into 4 Waunakee defenders and take it down. Ooh.
Danger, danger.
Oh, my goodness. He whiffed on the first one and nearly overran that one. But
Mike Middick said of Hackle last year, he's a free spirit and a fun kid to be around.
Well, there you go.
And he has no conscience on punt.
No. All right, 1st and 10 for DeForest, 35-yard line. Armstrong tries to get something out of it and does, a couple. 2nd down.
DeForest hanging right with the 2nd-ranked team in the state. They haven't beaten Waunakee since 2013, so none of these kids in white have ever scored a victory over the Warriors.
DeForest has made the playoffs the last 12 years. They missed in 2005. Division IV state champions in 1982. Here's a pass that's a little too hot to handle for Logan Bierman. It skips off his hands, incomplete, 3rd down.
One of those, it wasn't a perfect throw, but it was a ball that could have been caught and would have put him in very close to 1st down range. Now we got a big 3rd and 8, 8.5 coming here.
It's a beautiful night, 61 degrees, light winds, 7 miles an hour.
And a beautiful facility.
Sure is.
Turf field, they renovated this a year ago, new lights, and you can see on your screen, it's a great setting for high school football.
Makes the pictures on TV look really good. Here's Schrader. Gets it off, complete, wide open was Bierman. And he's going to get into Waunakee territory, 1st down to DeForest. Boy, they somehow lost Logan Bierman.
Yep, nice route combination. Hooked up right around the 1st down marker. Schrader had plenty of time to throw, get his feet set, rifled a bullet right there.
Bierman's another junior, 6'2", 197 pounds.
16-yard gain, 1st down. Nick Robson made the tackle for Waunakee. There's Schrader rolling right, throwing right, and incomplete. Larson couldn't get it.
Very similar concept, almost like a duplicate play, flipped to the other side of the field.
This is a pretty young DeForest team. They only have 15 seniors.
They lost a lot of guys, too. Bryce Duffy, Jared Klein, Blake Flynn, Zach Rao.
No, typically both programs are senior-dominant teams, and they've always been successful.
2nd and 10 from the Waunakee 47. Armstrong shot through the hole and then ran into Blake McCurdy, the middle linebacker for Waunakee, but not before he got down to the 42, so that's a gain of 5.
Yeah, 40 and 44 are a dynamic duo of linebackers there for Waunakee. He came running through there with a head of steam, and I thought he was going to pop out, and then all of a sudden the feet stopped.
For all the sexiness of the spread offense, though, it's pretty physical.
No, this is
this is smash mouth football, and the buck those hogs and the Waunakee and the DeForest defense, and here in this matchup right now.
All right, 3rd and about 5. Well, and they jumped. Snap never happened, and DeForest jumped. That'll cost the Norskies 5 for procedure. So it'll be 3rd and 10. We've had some big penalties in this game, and that is another one.
Only the second one on DeForest. Waunakee's had twice that many.
Yeah, now they're radically changing the personnel group here. I think we're going to see kind of a spread look here on 3rd and 10. You'll see this D-line really pin their ears back now.
Here's 3rd and 10. Schrader flushed. Throwing as a man wide open and threw it behind him. Reed Ryan was putting some pressure on. The pass for Logan Hackle went to the outside. He just couldn't get it. 4th down DeForest.
Yeah, they had a nice route combination that had Hackle open. It had a little traffic for him to run through to get there, matching up with the man-to-man defense that Waunakee's trying to employ in that secondary.
I don't think Schrader recognized how much time he actually had. He didn't set his feet.
Yeah.
So Xavier Acola into punt. And this is going to bound inside the 10.
Flag could be roughing the kicker, or he's running into the kicker.
I think Reed Ryan ran into the kicker, Acola.
Another late flag.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is a big call if it's the 5-yard, just the 5-yard running into the kicker.
And he definitely does, as you will see here.
Yep, just got him at the end there. So that'll make it 4th and 5, we believe.
Well, they'd cause Mike Minnick to change his
I think,
making.
And unlike,
Oh boy.
I would think it's going to decline. Nope, they're going to re-kick it.
Re-kick it.
I don't know that they're going to get it any deeper down there. This is kind of
I
a risk.
think they're going for it.
I think they're going for it.
They're going to go for it.
I think they're going for it.
I think now you got to go for it. The way this game is gone, there haven't been
that
many
you're right.
possessions.
The time is milking away from them a little bit here.
The punt team came off the field, and the Norski's offense is huddling along the far sideline, and this is going to be, this could be the play of the game right here. There you see the DeForest fans, while their phones out, lighting up the sky. Looks like we've had a lightning bug infestation. That's beautiful. They're going for it on 4th and 5. Empty backfield again. Maybe they're trying to draw him offside. Nothing happening. Nope. They just wanted to see if they could get Waunakee to jump and get a free 1st down. Now DeForest calls time.
Well, this is another interesting decision.
I assume they'll punt then, or not?
I think if you want to upset the defending champs on the road, you gotta take a chance.
That offense is still huddling.
The part
there.
is I was surprised because you really aren't going to get much of an opportunity to punt them deeper than where they were. And if you were going to go for it, you should have had the play in. And unless they didn't get the look they expected to get out of that empty, that they're going to change. So I'm not sure if they're.
Mike Minnick still hasn't tipped his hand on what unit's coming in here yet. I don't think Waunakee really cares. I don't think they're going to put a deep man back there expecting a punt.
Well,
there's the punter.
Yep.
So this is the guy who punted the first one, Colby Hardig.
The state of Wisconsin's largest punter, and as far as we know.
So Mike Minnick showing confidence in his defense.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a little field position here.
And his defense has played well. Hardig, fair catch called for, and now they'll just let it bound toward the end zone, and it skips in.
Right.
So it'll be out of the 20.
So in the exchange, unfortunately, DeForest loses a timeout and lost about 5 to 7 yards of field position.
Well, feels like must-stop time for the DeForest defense.
Yep.
17-7, that was our score at halftime. Jared Wolf to Sawyer Molly for a 24-yard touchdown pass. DeForest tied it on a 12-yard touchdown run by Evan Armstrong. Then Jared Wolf put Waunakee back in front with a 1-yard touchdown run. Reese Merrick a 29 field goal as time ran out in the first half to make it 17-7. Molly from Wolf, complete. It'll be second down. The combination works again as Jared Wolf hooks up with Sawyer Molly. Got about 4. Out to the 24. Oh, that time they looked at Molly, couldn't get it off, and down goes the quarterback, taken down by Trey Warney.
You know, and this is another thing. Both teams are so sound defensively, and this is a play. This is the third time they ran the jailbreak screen, and unfortunately, you know, DeForest has that one sniffed out pretty good.
Well, we've talked a lot about Waunakee's defense, but DeForest, that's awfully sound defense.
Very
they only allowed
stout.
1 passing yard and 6 first downs last week, and beating the heck out of Reedsburg 40-zip.
No, very impressed with both teams.
There's a 3rd and 12. Wolf sets up the screen. This is Keller, penalty marker down. Keller breaks a tackle. He's got a first down and more. Keller into DeForest territory before he stopped at the 46, but there's a penalty marker back at the Waunakee 28.
Now we're going to have to check and see. This was a tight end screen that the Badgers used to run this a lot, and Waunakee's always had it in their arsenal. I'm not sure he was behind the line of scrimmage when he caught the ball because the linemen were downfield. So we're going to have a little conference.
There you see the officials gathering, and now Kent Holmquist will let us know how that meeting turned out. Waunakee's clapping like it's against DeForest. But we'll see. They're picking up.
They're picking up the flag. So that the linemen were downfield.
Well, here it is.
The question is, did he catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage? You know, we don't have the angle.
The line of scrimmage was the 18, if that helps. It's hard to tell.
You know, and so the lineman can go downfield as long as the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and I think he was right there, and I think the DeForest coaching staff is respectfully disagreeing.
Yep, 26-yard gain, wow.
And I'm sure Coach Rice was explaining to the officials that it was a screen and he caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
Caden Nelson on that carry. We're under 2 minutes in the third quarter, 17-7 Waunakee.
But that was a huge call.
Yeah. 2nd and 8. Boy, it looked like DeForest defense was going to stop them deep, give their offense a chance. Quarterback hit as he's thrown, and the pass waffles incomplete.
Okay. And again, the DeForest pass rush is such that, you know, rarely does Waunakee have time to throw to get the receivers downfield. They're doing fine with quick access throws and screens, but to sit in the pocket and throw the ball downfield, the DeForest defense is pretty good putting on pressure.
It's 3rd and 8 for Waunakee. Here comes the pressure, and down goes Wolf. Trey Warney makes another sack.
And DeForest won't go away thanks to that defense.
No, and again, 3rd and long dictates catch, 3-step drop, whoops. Here comes the white tornado.
Warney's a junior, by the way.
Surprise, surprise. Here's Fry to punt. Hackle deep to receive it. Snap bounces back to Fry, and this one's off the side of the foot. Everybody get out of the way for DeForest. Ooh, a friendly roll for the Warriors. Gets it just outside the 20. DeForest football with 49 seconds left in the third quarter.
Jeez.
Isn't that something?
I don't know that I've ever seen a game where the ball stays between the sidelines all night long.
Waunakee's won 16 of the last 19 Badger Conference North football titles.
Yeah, their consistency is remarkable.
Okay, here.
They may have the longest winning streak in the state. They won 17 in a row.
Right.
St. Mary's Springs probably has duplicated that.
Good first down run by
nice, good first down run.
Armstrong.
Little counter action. They kick out by a guard and a wrapper by the fullback.
It's funny,
or H-back.
We asked the coaches for their depth charts for use in our broadcast during the week, and there you see Gage Hughes, a junior defensive lineman, down for Waunakee.
I think it's a cramp.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw some of the kids starting to stretch and cramp. Again, it was a very humid week.
Yeah.
And so, and again, these kids are in class now this week. And
anyway,
poor Reedsburg hasn't even gotten in school yet.
Right.
I don't know. I'm guessing they're playing tonight, though, or no?
They are.
They are.
I think it's a 7-0 score at the half. Soccer, 7-6.
7-6.
Soccer leads Reedsburg at the half. In the big game in McFarland, by the way, in Rock Valley, McFarland East Troy tied at 20. You were talking about depth charts.
Yeah, I was talking about depth charts, and we asked the coaches for their starters to help with our broadcast. I'll finish after this play. It's 2nd and 4. Here's Schrader. Gets to get rid of it, throwing deep and nearly intercepted. Nick Robson was in a jump ball with Mason Kirchberg for DeForest, incomplete. And Mike Minnick sent us his starters, and Evan Armstrong, the running back, won on it. And we're like, wow, what happened? And turns out just kind of forgot, I guess.
Yep.
So Armstrong's been running hard tonight. Kirchberg almost made a big play there, and Robson almost made a big play.
It was a good matchup. It was again, as a coach, you kind of design a few plays that are, we call them shot plays, where you're going to take a shot downfield, hit a big play, and they did it off of the sweep action.
3rd and 4 from the 27. Schrader. And the receiver never looked back. Hackle. He was in a foot race with
and
Joe Hauser.
And quarterback expected the wide receiver to break out, and the receiver thought he had a good chance to beat him deep.
Yep.
And the defensive end,
Ryan was chasing him.
Ryan was in hot pursuit, and I think Mr. Schrader decided we got to get abandoned ship here pretty quick.
Yep. Not a tough decision here on 4th and 4.
Nope.
DeForest has to kick it away with Colby Hardig. He'll boot it around his 20-yard line. Low liner. And here's the return. That's Nick Robson. Robson breaks it to the near side. Robson into DeForest territory at the 40.
And unfortunately, he had a poor drop on the punt and didn't get it exactly what we wanted. Ended up with a line drive punt. And again, Waunakee very solid on special teams, and now really flipped the field here.
And that will do it for the third quarter. No scoring in that third quarter, so the score remains Waunakee 17 and DeForest 7. We'll take a break. Be back with the fourth quarter in a moment. You're watching the Prep Mania Game of the Week on TBW and Channel3000.com. Fourth quarter begins at Warrior Stadium in Waunakee. This is Ross with the carry for the Warriors on first down. Penalty marker at the end of the play. Will Ross again with the carry, but a penalty marker thrown in the middle of the field. Let's see what it is.
This might be one where they thought he went to the beyond the whistle offensively.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Face mask. I did not see that.
Yeah.
And the big 15-yard variety.
Wow. Should get a look at it here. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, hand up on the
Trey Kirchberg, I believe.
Yep.
So, the Warriors take advantage. They're down to the 23. Oh, what a big touchdown this would be for the Warriors.
He might take a little more time here. No, he's not trying to run down the clock. A nice sweep action.
Will Ross. Good pursuit, good tackle by Beck Meyer, the senior defensive end for DeForest.
Something to keep in mind here. The quarterback looks like he's probing either to keep off of that, either inside or to the outside.
Waunakee and very patient here, letting that clock wind down, up 10, and now in the red zone against DeForest. Wolf to Caden Lewis.
Here's another little subtle thing, and he just Waunakee has gone to an unbalanced line with the tight end covered up on there, so they overloaded that side. They flipped it back now to the white side, so the tight end is ineligible for the pass, but he is there for the run.
3rd and 1. Ross cuts it inside. First down and almost touchdown, but not quite.
This is one of those things that's really difficult as a coaching staff to get that information to your kids unless they can recognize it, because there's an extra man at the point of attack that's just enough to give the running back room here.
He cut behind the block of Austin Keller. Taken down inside the 1.
Super impressed with Keller as a blocker and as a receiving target.
He's had a good night.
Now they're slowing things down a little bit here. Eat as much clock as possible.
It's 1st and goal, Waunakee. Here's Ross into the end zone. Touchdown, Waunakee. Ross gets his first score of the night, and the Warriors go up 23-7. Will Ross.
Special teams play in the short field.
Short field.
And they took advantage of the 15-yard face mask.
You can just kind of feel the Hogs, as they're affectionately known here in Waunakee, just smelling that end zone.
That obviously is a big score.
Yep. Those Hogs up front: Nate Miller, Zach Diederich, Gabe Zander, Forrest Anderson, Thomas Meffert. There's the extra point from Reese Merrick, 24-7. Boy, people are going to hear 24-7. They're not going to know how DeForest has battled, and man, a play or two here and there could have been different, but Waunakee starting to put some distance between themselves and their rivals in the Badger North.
Looking for their 18th straight win. If Pat Rice would get this win, he would go into 11th place all time. He's tied Wayne Steffenhagen, the legendary DC Everest coach, for 11th place and 278 wins. Our colleague was 51st in that list.
Wow. Good old number 51.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got somewhere here. I got your stats. But you're 51st in that all time.
Inconsequential.
203 wins. Not bad.
200 wins, though.
We got a lot of knowledge.
Between the three of us, we got over 200 wins. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, can you imagine how many wins I would have if I didn't have to go against Pat Rice like 15 times and Mike Stassi about 15 times? And
Matt Rice is one of only 7 active coaches in the state with over 275 wins. The winningest are Bob Hyland, of course, at St. Mary Springs. Jerry Sins of Edgar. Joe Abuda got his 300th a couple weeks back.
You know, Waunakee's had only 3 head football coaches since 1953. Hall of Famer Dick Trotta went 73, 17, and 4 in 12 years. Then Hall of Famer Gail Quinn went 203, 81, and 3 with 15 conference championships. And he hired a guy named Pat Rice, did Gail Quinn, back in 1988.
Oh, a big
Wow.
lick there.
Man.
Big hit.
Quite a collision.
And that's Stevens, the kicker, getting up slowly.
Gotta say, Stevens took a pretty good shot. Too.
Yeah,
the ball carrier had a steam, and Stevens took him on. And the baseball coach at Arkansas said, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
If they're watching online,
Yeah,
and,
I gotta say,
oh yeah,
Stevens
that's
took the
good
brunt
job
of that
there.
too.
Sweet.
Oh, Fayetteville
He
skipped the
tried to
beat there.
barbecue that hog.
Okay, Norskies have to respond. 24-7 Waunakee. They'll start with Armstrong. Driven back.
No, it's a lot easier to play defense at this point. Especially now you get a 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
Yeah, you got DeForest and what they're not comfortable doing, throwing the football.
Right. And, 2 enemies, the Waunakee defense and the clock.
McCurdy and Hauser on that last stop. 2nd and 10. This is Hackle. Gets to the outside and then pulled down right in front of the Waunakee bench. It's going to be 3rd down coming up for the Norski offense with now 9:23 left in the 4th quarter. Next week we'll be in Verona next Friday night. Sun Prairie and Verona in what will be a critical Big 8 conference matchup. 7 o'clock on TVW and channel3000.com.
Yeah, the loser of that game's in bad shape.
For title.
Yeah.
I still think the conference champion's going to have 1 loss in that league.
And by the way, Memorial's pulled within 14-10 of Middleton.
Oh, Armstrong lost the football and Waunakee has it. They separated the ball from the Norski running back, and the purple shirt was there for the turnover.
Only the 2nd turnover of the night. DeForest has had both of them. First one was a big play at the end of the first half on the muff punt, and then this one might be the dagger.
Ryan forced the fumble, and Hauser recovered. Reed Ryan forced a fumble. What's new? Huh?
Yep. No, he's an excellent football player. Now this is kind of a really important time in terms of for Waunakee, really establish their hogs, and this is like a big pride thing for them. Back to their unbalanced line.
Here's the handoff to Evan Zwetler, and Zwetler squirts free and gets about 9.
Very cleanly blocked at the point of attack. The tight end H-back / fullback right next to Keller, also a really good blocker, and then they got the hogs out in front.
I'll give him 8. Ball at the 30. Clock rolling, and that's how Waunakee wants it. Now this time Wolf, the quarterback, keeps it, and I think he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and gain maybe about 3 inches. Going to be 3rd down. Edwin Jackson slow to get up for DeForest, and let's see if he limps to the sideline. Nope, he's going to try and stay in. Well, now they're going to stop play. Yeah. Erickson just needed to get out of there. He's not quite right.
Play resumes. It'll be
3rd down and 2 from the 30.
Now they're back to double tight, 2 wide look.
Whoops. Molly jumped. That'll cost Waunakee 5.
It's a fumble.
Got a Middleton update there?
Middleton update. Middleton just kicked the field goal with 2:51 left in the third quarter. Middleton up 17-10 after a fumble by Memorial in their own territory.
Middleton with one loss in the Big 8. Memorial unbeaten and tied with Craig for the lead going into the night.
And both Memorial and Craig are trailing tonight. Here's a little bubble screen. This is Keller. Oh, good play there defensively. Beck Meyer got Keller around the legs. It's going to be a fourth down coming up for Waunakee.
That Big 8 race is crystallized a little because there are no non-conference games. Here in the Badger, this is only the second conference game of the season. So. But Waunakee's in good shape.
Yeah.
We believe the coaches, and we always do. Their preseason picks had Waunakee number 1, Mount Horeb number 2, and DeForest 3. Last week, Waunakee won handily over Mount Horeb, and they're a few minutes away from going 2-0 if they can beat DeForest here.
Yeah, and as silly as it seems, this is really Waunakee's conference championship game because the other teams remaining on their schedule are just not as good as Mount Horeb and DeForest.
There's been only one conference game before tonight in the Badger North. Waunakee, DeForest, Sauk Prairie, Baraboo were the winners last week. They're all 1-0. Beaver Dam, Reedsburg, Mount Horeb, Barneveld, Portage all 0-1.
Waunakee goes to Portage next week. In fact, they're on the road the next 2 weeks. They go to Portage, then they go to Sauk before hosting Reedsburg and Baraboo and finishing the year at Beaver Dam. But they're certainly in the driver's seat if they can hold on over the last 7-14 here.
I mentioned Waunakee hasn't had a whole lot of head coaching turnover the last number of decades. Well, same deal at DeForest, really.
You know, but another mark of excellence for Coach Rice is he has had some turnover in his coaching staff over, as you would expect, over 26, 27 years with his assistants, and he's got great assistants consistently through those years.
There's the fourth down play, and let's see if Ross got it.
It's very close. The Forest kids do not think he got it, but the Waunakee offensive kids are staying out there.
Yep, it's going to be a first down, Waunakee. Not by much, but Will Ross got to the first down marker. 27-yard line. New set of downs for Waunakee. Ross again.
Another interesting thing is now with the turf fields, it's a lot easier to know whether it's a first down or not just by how you measure it.
Right.
Unlike the old days where the AD or the football coach was lining the field and you walk out before the field to see if there were any straight lines.
Some of those lines went.
Over 100 turf fields in the state now.
Wow.
Among high schools.
There's Ross again. This time he breaks free, runs over a defender. He's inside the 10. Will Ross with a strong run, first down.
Very impressive run, good pad level. This is a huge confidence builder for these kids here too. With such a big turnover, to having watched this in those playoff runs and now seeing it happen for themselves.
Another carry for Ross right up the middle. Clock rolling to 6 minutes. Ross, little sloppy exchange, but it doesn't matter. Touchdown Waunakee. Will Ross with his second of the night. It's 30-7 Warriors.
No, it doesn't take long. Once the tide turns, and these Waunakee kids are just like sharks with smelling blood.
Yeah.
They cash in, and the turnover there with another short field, and again the Waunakee line is worn down to Forest, it appears here.
Right. No, and it's hard. It's hard not to play discouraged. If you're DeForest in this situation.
Reese Merrick with another extra point at 10.
Good look at Ross there, played on that Waunakee State baseball championship team.
Well, if you're the person that has to run that flag through the stands after every touchdown,
I think they might need a substitute flag runner.
You got to be in good shape if you're going to run that flag at Waunakee.
Well, I tell you, you're right.
They've had, 149 points coming into this game.
Well, I tell you, you're right. Those guys up front, I mean, as you say, it's been how long since they've had great offensive lines here? But they are really starting to dominate and really decide this game up front.
Yeah, it's always funny talking to the Badger North coaches coming out of all conference. They're like, yeah, it's pretty much a purple all conference team. And
this has been a good game for Waunakee.
Yeah, it was. No, and I still think, at the end of the day, DeForest is going to be right there. They're going to be extremely competitive in a playoff situation. The unfortunate thing is, they're probably going to be grouped with Waunakee in that bracket. Like I said, Waunakee really probably will not be tested. The 5 remaining games, probably 4 of them, maybe all 5 will be running clock games.
Well, I was going to say DeForest forced them to play 4 quarters. I mean, I think it's the first time these kids have had to play.
No, and it's easy to sit here and say, well, why don't they sub kids in? But the truth is they aren't going to be challenged like this probably much the rest of the year. And so one of the big challenges that the Waunakee coaches have is how do you keep them sharp? And in truth, a lot of it comes in practice. That the second team of Waunakee is many times as challenging as what they encounter on Friday night with some of the Division III schools in their league. And that's part of that disparity and one of the reasons why they're looking at other options for football moving forward with football-only conferences.
Logan Hackle on the return for DeForest there. The Norskies get it back, trailing 31-7. They're at their own 27-yard line. Schrader completes the pass to Hayden Rawls, and he's run out of bounds with a hard tackle. And I tell you what, we've said
Reed Ryan right in his face too.
Joe Hauser has had a nice game for Waunakee. Fumble recovery, made a number of plays. Here's another one. 82. Got 4 on that last one. 2nd and 6 for DeForest. Schrader. Down he goes. Who else? Reed Ryan.
It is really hard. And these, to be sound in the running game and then to get in these third and long pass situations where the other team knows you have to pass. And a lot of times, Waunakee has an advantage. You have someone like Reed Ryan that you really can't expect to single block. And then all of a sudden Waunakee starts blitzing one linebacker, and now everybody's one-on-one.
I think Reed Ryan's looking forward to coming hard here.
Oh, boy. Pin your ears back and go. Schrader, incomplete. He was looking for Logan Bierman, 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
Fourth and 13, and the Norskies will have to kick it away again.
Talking about Waunakee's schedule, DeForest is home for the next 2 weeks. They'll host Sauk and Baraboo. Then they have yet to play at Beaver Dam. Then they host Mount Horeb and finish the conference season in Portage on October 12th.
And again, if you look at traditionally the teams.
Wow. Look at the roll on this one.
Yeah, battling.
That's still going.
You would expect that Mount Horeb DeForest game as the game to see who's the runner-up in the league. and the other teams are going to be fighting for a playoff spot. So typically there will be 3 teams out of the Badger North that'll go to the playoffs, and possibly 4, depending on how the records shake out. The first criteria is conference record above 500, and so.
Yeah, unbelievably, the season's about half over here after tonight. 4 of the 9 games are done.
Waunakee looking to go 4-0 overall, 2-0 in the Badger North. They just keep on getting on.
I think they'll run the football here. And the first team stays in for Waunakee.
Here's Ross.
You alluded to this a couple minutes ago, Alan. We haven't taken it in the first 3 broadcasts, but I think you're going to read more about it as the WIA goes out throughout the state to area meetings. They'll look for feedback on the proposed realignment in high school football, and it could be controversial. But
there's no question it's going to be controversial. The premise behind it is that to get a level playing field in terms of everybody being in an 8-team conference. So as an example, in our local area, you have the Big 8, which really has 10 teams, that has 9 conference games. Okay, and so there's an inherent advantage mathematically for playoff qualification if you have 10 teams versus 8 teams versus 7 teams.
Evan Zwettler with another carry. He had the last carry in addition to this one, and Zwettler with a good strong run is going to get Waunakee a first down, I think.
And the reason behind that is the first criteria is 500 or better in the league. So in a 10-team league with 9 conference games, a 4-5 record would get in before the 4th place team, in theory, in the Badger North with a 3-4 record. And it's as much mathematics advantage of how many teams are in your league as much as it is anything else.
So the WIA accepted a recommendation for the Coaches Association, did they not, to put together committees to try to come up with a solution to that issue, and they came up with a redistricting plan with a bunch of 8-team leagues. I guess practically it sends, in this conference, Edgewood and Monroe to the Rock Valley. It sends the 2 Janesville schools, Parker and Craig, out of the Big 8 to the Badger South.
Right. That is the initial proposal.
Yeah.
One caveat to that particular plan is the Badger Conference is debating whether they can, again, if you were just to talk to the Badger Conference ADs, they would like to just keep it 8-8 and not have anybody else come in. But the Rock Valley needs, part of it is relief in the Rock Valley for small Division IV schools. And so they have a 12-team league, but some have crossovers that count and some that don't. And so to get 8, there's like 6 leaving the Rock Valley. Add in Edgewood and Monroe, that gives them 8. And then the Janesvilles would come in, and so one of the debates in the Badger Conference is to go large-small, which would help some of the smalls in the Badger North right now. Those D3s have had a very difficult time qualifying for the playoffs, playing against, three Division II schools.
Again, this will be taken up in meetings that the WI annually conducts throughout the state. They usually start next week, and again, the controversy, I guess, Boyd, I don't think is crazy about having to go to Madison 4 times a year to play Madison schools under the new alignment. The Janesville schools may not want to leave their traditional Madison rivals.
Right.
And, there could be lots of things that crop up.
The initial meetings, I think, do start next week.
Yeah.
I think the local meeting for our area is in Mount Horeb in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and again,
it's actually one of the last meetings, so there will be a lot of talk that'll be stirred up throughout the state before they get to the local meeting here.
And the proposal, the WIA staff will then take it back and I assume meet with the Football Coaches Association, and the Board of Control, I think, votes on it next spring, do they not?
I believe so. The other part is...
It would not go into effect until 2020.
Right. It's not going into effect into 2020. The other thing is teams, once those assignments are made, will have a chance to appeal or make some adjustments based off of, perhaps some subtle tweaks. So, it's far from being a done deal.
Yeah, but you'll be reading about it.
You'll be reading about it a lot.
I was just going to ask that. I mean, it's not a done deal, but I mean, do you think it's got a good chance of getting through?
I really do. I think,
there's a third
again,
down carry.
The difficult thing is, football is the only sport in which, you have to, your playoff participation is determined by your regular season. Everyone else gets it. It's every other sport is all play, and you get realigned according to your enrollment.
Now, we should point out this is a football-only proposition. It
Right.
will not affect any other sport. The conferences will stay the way they are in basketball and hockey and softball, baseball.
Right, exactly. And so, again, you have a case where like Monroe and Edgewood are Edgewood is actually a Division IV school if you go by enrollments, and Monroe is Division III.
There's the punt. That's a fair catch by Logan Hackle. The punter, by the way, for Waunakee, that was Scott Frost.
Yeah, he probably might be his first punt of the year.
Yeah. I mean,
that's another thing to work on.
He's on the program. Punter, senior, 6'4", 200.
No relation to the Nebraska coach that we're aware of.
I do not know that, but I would guess it'd be distant, if anything. Well,
but you take an example, Monroe and Edgewood are playing Division II schools to try to qualify for Division III or IV playoffs.
Right.
And so that's where kind of the one part of it, and that happens across the state and other conferences.
There's the running back who loses his helmet at the end of the play. That's Gabe Finley.
The Waunakee defense gave him a kind of a rude greeting up there in the middle of the line.
Well, Waunakee on the way to another win and a 4-0 start, a 2-0 start in the conference. 31-7 our score.
18th win in a row for the Warriors.
Oh, wow. It almost popped the run through there.
Armstrong got tripped up. Clock rolls down to 1:20.
Middleton added another field goal. They're up 20-10.
Shoot, our son was a kicker at Middleton. They never tried field goals. Now they're kicking field goals all the time. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Second field goal.
Yes, maybe you should have taken Coach Simon out for breakfast once in a while.
But Pertzborn's the co-coach.
Oh, yeah. No.
So maybe
now you have doubles.
That's why they're trying field goals.
Might have to take them both out to Hubbard.
I tell you, he's a good kicker. Well, I'll take you guys out to Hubbard Diner. I'm in for that.
There's a lot of great places to eat in Middleton.
Armstrong. Middleton had its share of effects of the flooding of the last couple of weeks, too. They're getting back to some degree of normalcy.
Yeah, rumor has it we have a dry week coming up.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Huh? Well, there's some.
Of course, we have the big Iron Man coming to town.
Yeah. You in?
No.
What up?
Must be that torn Achilles I had a few years ago.
Or you're sleeping late that day, one of the two. Another run from Gabe Finley.
That might be the last play of the game. DeForest goes meekly, but they gave Waunakee a throw.
Great game.
They did.
Great game.
It was 17-7 going in the fourth, and a couple turnovers were keys for DeForest. They usually are in big games.
Yeah.
But Waunakee made them pay for those mistakes, and hard-hitting game as we expected, and Waunakee just rolls on. They get a little more depth.
Well, Schrader got hit by Ryan and lost the football. DeForest is going to recover it, but that'll do it for the game.
Well, guys, another solid game, and I think we're going to see both these teams in the playoffs. And
so if I pick a star of the game to interview, is there a star of the game, or do I talk to Pat Rice?
I tell you, Ryan wreaked a lot of havoc defensively.
Except for that
Molly
penalty.
had the great.
Except for that penalty.
Well, Did that make you a little fearful to interview that guy?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
The Molly catch was pretty special.
Yeah, that was pretty nice
that
play.
was in the first quarter. Wolf with a scoring pass on that play. Also ran for one. Ross with a couple touchdown runs.
Yeah.
And that
You
defense
could
was
do
pretty
Ross
solid.
and let him
The Fry kid played pretty well defensively.
give props to his linemen.
Now I'm going to interview 4 guys. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. All right. Waunakee wins it. Final is 31-7. Warriors still undefeated in the conference. And again, next week, we'll be in Verona, back in Verona, where the Wildcats will host Sun Prairie in a Big 8 conference matchup. We'll be live with you again 7 o'clock next Friday night from Verona.
Yeah, that'll be a very interesting thing. I'm really anxious to see how much Sun Prairie's improved. And, again, that'll be the winner of that game will put themselves, I think, in a hunt to tie for the league title.
Yep. All right. Thanks, boys.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
See you next week. Again, our final score, Waunakee 31 and DeForest 7. I want to thank everyone in our Great Rush Media crew for their efforts tonight. Along with Alan Minert, Bill Brophy, Jay Wilson, thanks for being with us. Final from Waunakee, 31-7 Warriors. See you next week, next Friday night from Verona. You've been watching the Prep Mania Game of the Week on TBW and Channel3000.com.
pass.
You look good, Jay.
I gotta get a hip replaced too.
No.
I do.
Don't say that because I think I'm right around the corner. That's not what I
We
want.
used to be really young.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Waunakee rolls to another win, and Pat Rice leads them to that win. And Pat, rivalry game, I guess we start by giving DeForest a lot of credit.
Absolutely. They played their tails off. I thought their kids did a great job. They did a number of things that were kind of unscouted a little bit and, kept us on our heels, quite frankly, in that first half. So, but we kind of fully expected that. That's been the tradition is, just a tighter game. And, we're pretty familiar with each other. The kids, know each other. So it was a typical rivalry game. I was really proud of how our kids hung in there and just played the next snap. And, we had some adversity, obviously, in the first half, but, we made enough plays to stay in the game.
You had so many great players that graduated and moved on, but this team looks like they have the capabilities of doing a lot of great things too.
Yeah, they're scrappers. That's what I like about them. They're kind of no names, 10 new starters on D and 8 or 9, whatever on offense. But they love football, and they love the process. They like practicing, and they keep getting better. And we honestly wondered, hey, what's it going to look like when we face some adversity, when we face some situations that we did tonight, and I thought they responded well. Obviously, DeForest is a good team, but I think our kids, the way they responded, showed me a lot about them, and they didn't flinch, so it was awesome.
Another big win for Waunakee over DeForest tonight.